are around, raise your hand. I don't raise my hand. No. My hand is the lowest. I don't want my household to stink among those that are around. I am glad for once that you didn't raise your hand this morning. Other than that, I like when you raise your hand. Because when you raise your hand, you tell me that you're listening and you're agreeing and so forth. And at least I'm not offending anybody and so forth. We have to act upon this knowledge given by the word of God. One thing in life I have learned is that knowledge must be followed with what? Anybody know? Action. Knowledge is nothing without action. That knowledge has to be used to create something good. And to create something good is what? An action. So today we want to act on it, right? Today I do not bring condemnation to your household. I bring to you the choice of blessings for your household through the word of God, which is the word of life. So point 1 is to be wary what we bring into our households. Point 2 is this, and it is also very simple but very important. Jacob doesn't just complain to his sons and let them know how he feels. Yes, he did that, but that wasn't it. Jacob takes responsibility for fixing the wrong which was done. That is action. Not your, okay son, you do something wrong, that's it, you're done. No. He took the responsibility and he said, here's what, we need to fix this wrong that was done and make it right. Sometimes in life, we have perhaps in our misjudgment made something or did something wrong. And we sometimes leave it there, we bury it as much as possible. But sometimes we need to fix what the wrong was and make it right sometimes. Point 2 is this. When you have found the wrong that has been done, seek God's face and direction and fix the wrong that was done. In other words, take responsibility. You know, responsibility is a scary word. I always say, if you want to see how scared a man can get, just say, I'm pregnant. What do you say about that? I'm pregnant. When you say something like that, responsibility is the first thing. The man gets sober. He says, wait, I have a child. I'm going to have a child. Better behave myself now. Better treat my wife properly. All the time you're treating the wife too good. Treat the wife properly now. This is what I talk about when I take responsibility. Because now it is no longer, and you know, I want to say responsibility is partially, you have to be careful what I say this, partially a certain level of selfishness too. Because when you get responsibility, you can either do two things. That you could not hold up to the responsibility, you hold up to the responsibility. So when you realize now you have the responsibility of a child, you say, oh, push point, my life done. But life is from a child. You have to spend all that time now taking care of a child. Alright? Children is good thing. I don't make it sound, I'm not making it sound against bad. I'm just saying responsibility is an important part in our life. If we don't take responsibility, we're not going to act and do what is right. So let me tell you, be responsible. I always remember my father. My father always say, "These children have a responsibility, boy." I remember him. When we don't take all the garbage in the morning, boy, these children have a responsibility, boy. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Responsibility is an important thing. We want, I always look at, I look at a lot of people, and a lot of people want, they want God to move in their lives. But the little things like having responsibility is not there. And in order for God to move in your life, you need to have and to accept that responsibility and do something with that responsibility to make it better. God, I do not believe that God is going to spoon feed everyone. He's not going to do that. He will help you, but you have to help yourself as well too. So here's the other thing. We're talking about responsibility. Right, so take responsibility of fixing it with God. Don't let the problem linger on and on and on. Now here's where we get into this. They say that habits take at least 21 days to break. Anybody know that statistic? Yeah. I feel that might even be partially inaccurate. I feel that when you have a real dread habit, it could take you a year and more sometimes to break out of that habit. And sometimes by the time you reach 6 months, you say, oh gosh, Lord, I can't make it, help me. That is when you ask God to help you, after 6 months, not from the first day. And so, this is something that happens. So they say that habits take at least 21 days to break. But I have seen circumstances where habits have ruled for much more time than 21 days. I am not condemning anyone here. I sure I could have bad habits too. And that is what we have to work at. We're working to fix it. So when we continue to let the issue or the problem slide, we can cause it to grow more. You see, when we let something slide, and this is important even when it comes to sin, when we let sin slide in our lives, it grows and it grows and it grows and it becomes a habit and a bigger habit and a harder habit that sticks with us. And so if you know that something you're doing is not according to what God is saying, break it before that habit develops in you. Not because you're a bad person necessarily causes you to sin. It is just you have created a habit, and it is easy sometimes to do the bad thing than to do the right thing. It is harder to break over the habit when it happens than if you say, no, I don't want it to even be there. So I want to tell you a good little piece of advice. If you can avoid it, avoid it. If you can avoid it from the start, try to avoid it in the start. Think about yourself. Be selfish a little bit for yourself. Be selfish and choose God and choose blessings for your life today. And here's the thing. So we're moving on. In school, when I was learning management, they always tell you to address an issue before it gets out of hand. In theory, it is an excellent piece of advice. It isn't as simple though as they make it out to be. Because I'll tell you something, from my very own experience, this advice is better than allowing the problem to linger on. Just remember that when you address a problem right away, don't always expect that the outcome won't be painful. Here's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to address an issue that comes in right away. It might be with your child, it might be with an issue with a customer at work or something. Address it right away, but just remember that in the process of fixing it, it doesn't mean that it is not going to be a little bit painful. How many times do you tell your children no, and you see them cry, and then it hurts you? Because you know that they don't know better. They might be. I remember I cried for a corgi car. I went into Girl City and I was small. You know what corgi cars is? Long time wasn't video game and thing. Long time is little miniature cars. And I go into the sun. I was like young child. I mean, I'm stupid. I don't know better. You know what I mean? And I go and I see this toy that I want. And I can remember up to now that feeling. I really, really want this toy. And I remember when my parents is good people, my parents are good people, but I remember when my parents said no, and what I do, I cried, it hurt me, cried. But I am sure now, when I look at that, I am sure my parents was hurt more by how I cried than me feeling that feeling of pain. Because your parents want to give you everything. Your parents want to say, yeah, I want whatever I didn't have in life, I want to give to my children. Not so? Good parents, that's what they do. But in the process of doing that, what we do, we might give them a cell phone. I probably said this before, we might give them a cell phone, nothing wrong with that. But by giving them the cell phone, they might be underage on WhatsApp, messaging a boy or a girl or whatever. You don't know what they're sending. They're sending pictures. I'm talking the truth nowadays. Nowadays it's different. Sometimes they send out a WhatsApp message. Sometimes the child innocent, but when they see the WhatsApp message, that changed one time. This is how instant it becomes. And the thing about it is that if we had said no, first of all, we might have avoided it for a period of time. It's hard to say no. And it is painful sometimes for a parent to say no. But sometimes the best thing is to say no. It still hurts. Fixing doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt. But it hurts for the better cause and the better reason. I preach it to the choir here this morning or not? Anybody agree with me? Raise your hand. Who disagree with me? See God after church. All right. Okay, good. So just remember, it was the right thing to do. I want to give you a personal example again. A bad worker continues to get worse without correction. Sister Abigail, I don't know if you had any bad workers, but from my experience being at the management of a team, the manager of a team, sometimes you only have one bad worker out of 20 or 30. And that one bad worker, you know what you end up doing? You say, hey, what? He look like he not going to do the work, right? And what do? You give one of the good workers extra work. So the good workers now, they're suffering because they have extra work. And the bad worker, what do? You create a habit now. You let him, you know what you let him do? You let him sit down behind the computer and play game all day. When he getting paid to do something totally different. Yes. See where habits are created and you see what problems it causes. Because now, when I decide I want to retire, the problem still remain for somebody else. But if you fix the problem, you're not going to happen. I'll tell you what will happen. Sometimes you're going to talk to a bad worker. And the bad worker say, yeah, what? Yeah? You playing bad? I'm going to call the union for you. I learn from the experience of people. Sometimes you're not doing the work. And then the first thing they'll go and do is call the union for you. The first thing they will threaten, legal action. This man taking advantage from me, blah, 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 blah. I have been there and I know what it is. And I'm sure that you may have been there as well too. So the thing about it is, sometimes in the process of trying to fix it, you can get it a little bit of pain as well too, but nevertheless, the pain, I believe, is much less than when the habit is created and the habit linger on for a whole generation and more. All right, so we talked last week a little about the leadership qualities of Esau. And Esau was second place. You remember, yes, last week was second place, right? All right, well today, we're talking about who? The first place man. We're talking about Jacob. Jacob was in first place. Jacob was winning the race. He was like the rabbit always winning the turtle, right? Jacob exercised his leadership qualities here with his household. This is what he did. He was not just a man who complained. He didn't go and say, oh gosh, he didn't go and find a woman outside and say, oh gosh, but my family miserable and this and that and the other and whatever. No, he didn't do that. He was not just a man who complained, but a man who acted on what God advised him to do. That is leadership. Sometimes you could go through life and yes, sometimes you could complain, sometimes you say, oh gosh, you know, I'm feeling a little sick today, or whatever is the case, and you complain a little bit. But don't leave it at complaining. Do something about it. Fix what needs to be fixed. I know I have plenty of things to fix too in my life, and that is what I intend to do. To fix it, I'm not going to stay there, brother Tom, you won't stay there. You have a crack in your wall, leave it open, let rain falling. No, you fix it, right? This is what we need to do. In your household, ask yourself, who is the leader of your household? That's a very controversial question as well, you know. Yeah. Who is the leader in your household this morning? I like to think I'm the leader, but I know I'm not the leader. I know I'm not the leader. Maybe not. And that's a joke. But anyway, we come to the point. This is a very important point, and we're going into this point because we have to. I like to talk about the controversial things. So we're talking about some controversial things. Point 3, make God the leader of your household. Amen. You catch it, right? I am the leader of my household. God is the leader of your household. Don't forget that. You will go through life sometimes and it's easy to forget good things. Don't forget that good thing. Don't forget that even when you make a decision, that you are making a decision under God for your household. So after that, after we know and after we say, here's what, God is the leader of our household. After that, decide who is the leader of your household underneath that. So first thing is decide from top that God is going to be the leader in your house. Jesus is going to be the leader of your house. Second thing is, who is going to be the leader underneath that? In church it runs the same way, you know. People don't like to hear that church is an institution. Sometimes even, I'll tell you something, I'll be very careful what I say, but I'll tell you. Church, they call the Bible says that the church is the people who make up the church. But I want to tell you something. The people who make up the church is 95, maybe 99%, but there's a 1% that is the institution of a church. A church has a specific hierarchy. Not a hierarchy in a bad way, but a hierarchy to say there are leaders and there are members of the church. Not so? It is the same way it comes with your household. Your household is powered by God, but you also have to have a hierarchy in your household as well. Alright, so here's the thing. The never-ending competition between the husband and wife to be the sole leader is a challenge that many households experience. What do you say about that? Yeah. Quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. This is a controversial thing. The most ideal situation is what God had intended, which is for the husband to be the leader of the household. You'll get vexed with me. Ladies just came out, eh? Don't get upset yet. Let me explain what I'm trying to say here. But that does not mean that the wife does not lead either. I think a lot of men, and I may have mentioned this before, a lot of men use the scriptures to say, well, they are the leader of their house and what they say goes all the time, etc. But I want to say that you have to cater for the fact that your wife is also your leader. When two become one, it meant something. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard sometimes to let your wife be the leader. I could tell you that being a man, sometimes it could be that way. But two became one. You made a promise unto God that you're going to honor your wife. You're going to honor what she does as well too. So you have to split that up sometimes. And I don't know if everybody does that. But men, if you're only telling your wife everything and your wife can't tell you anything, well then, you have to look at that. We could say amen to that, brothers and sisters. Yeah. I hear only the ladies, the men stay quiet. You see, when this, as I say, is church, I have to say the right thing. Even if you don't agree with me and you get vexed with me. And if you disagree with me, tell me outside. But just remember, when you tell me outside, you see this whole thing in here, it will be twice as loud outside. Twice as loud. Because I realize something, I realize not everybody, but a lot of people, they like to hear only the good things and don't hear the right things. The good and right things is two different things, my brothers and sisters. I don't say I have the knowledge of everything, but I will tell you something. If I disagree about something, and you come and you tell me you disagree about something, I might still decide to say my side of the story too. Yeah? Yeah. I am not no wife and husband. Alright? Okay. Don't get vexed with me. Alright. I think I should call myself pastor. Don't get vexed with me from now on, you know. I joke. So here's the thing. The most ideal situation is what God had intended, which is for the husband, as I said, to be the leader of the household. But that does not mean that the wife does not lead either. Well, you see, how is that possible? A joke normally mentions that the husband gets to be the leader because